Romania, and the people there were named Zuckman, and they had a son who had just died, so he took his identity, and he went by the name of Zuckman.
Who is this now that did this?
What?
Who?
Nathan.
Nathan did it.
Nathan.
Why would Nathan have brothers?
I don't know. You know, I
mean,
this
that
is
Brela was always from what I understand, Brela was a part of the world that was this year in Romania, next year in Russia.
Right.
So next year in Jerusalem, right?
But anyhow, I never heard that.
Yeah, well then he got tired of the pogroms in Romania, and he took up with a band of gypsies.
Really?
And they sang and danced their way across Europe. This is the story. And he got steerage across the United States. I don't know how he got a passport or whatever. And he spent about a week in New York. The story is, he comes off the boat, he gets through to Ellis Island, and they have people from Tammany Hall that would greet the greenhorns as they come off the plank, the gangplank plank or whatever, from the little motor launch that takes them out to New York Island. And they would say to them, you know, here's a bucket of coal, here's some groceries, and $5. You can have it if you're willing to live, and they give them an address. So they wanted to spread out the vote. And so Nathan supposedly took this. He was there about a week. It didn't remind him, the Lower East Side did not remind him of Romania, which he fled because, and so he takes the $5 and whatever little other money he had, and he goes to the train station, Pennsylvania train station, plunks the money down, says to the ticket seller, west. He doesn't know much English, west. And the guy says to him, well, he counts out, he said, that'll get you to Helena, Montana. He doesn't know from east to west. And so he gets on the train, Pennsylvania goes to Chicago, then he has to transfer to the Great Northern, which goes up and stops in Minneapolis. And he gets off the train, and of course, the train station was hard by the Mississippi River, and there were grass and trees and that, and it reminds him of Romania. So he goes back to the train, takes his duffel bag or whatever he had, and gets off the train. Now, the story is a gap there from what I've heard because nobody knows what he did the first day. The first night. May have slept on a park bench for him. The next day he starts going to people and saying, Rumanian. Apparently somebody understood what he was saying. He said, oh, well, there's the Bessler family. And they're the only Romanian. So he finds them, knocks on their door. They open the door and he says, I'm here. You know? And they foolishly took him in, and he ended up marrying the oldest daughter, Lizzie. So that's the story.
How did the rest of the family arrive?
What?
How did the rest of the family arrive?
He's the guy that supposedly brought them over one at a time.
You know that part of that rings true with Uncle Mitch's story because Uncle Mitch, I think, said it was Nathan that killed the guy.
Yeah, and he brought over the sons, his brothers first, then Mathilda.
The grandpa came too.
Huh? And then the last two to come was Haskell and Dora. Yeah. That's the story, the way I heard it. He brought them over.
Was your story about Nathan?
Well, Uncle Mitch, I couldn't remember. I believe Uncle Mitch said Nathan. That it was Nathan that did it, that killed this guy. Now, there's a different story here.
But he was a pretty intrepid guy, and another story was he's the guy that was trapping pigeons. And he would take them from the park or wherever, and he had chicken coops up
in Brela.
Huh?
No, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
He must have been doing it in Brela.
And then the police came and said, you can't do that. Then at one point, and I just so damn angry at myself for for not keeping, it was a pad of paper. He became a cigar maker. N. Zuckman cigars, and I had a pad of his paper, and I just don't know what it was.
My mother worked for him. My mother, I don't have my mother's biography in here. She worked there when she was a teenager.
Really?
She rolled cigars for the neighbor.